I find that you do pick a lot of roles that really speak to young Black women in a way that probably we haven't been spoken to before. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I am very thoughtful about, not always is it I'm going to do a role where it's a think piece and this is a thesis on what it means to be a Black woman. Not always is it going to be like that. And hopefully, anytime that message is the main focal point, it's done effortlessly, right? It's meant to just thread in life and be something that you can just receive in a way that you don't have to be preached at, but it's just enjoyable. That's always the hope as well. But yeah, I think growing up in the Midwest, with the kind of parents that I had, my parents are very much so people of service and people of community. And so they raised me very early on to look to people like Muhammad Ali or Ruby Dee, Ozzie Davis, and people like that who didn't just perform, but they performed with the intent of knowing how it would push it was like their version of activism, where, they use their art to also tell a personal story and narrative to their community in an uplifting way, and in unique ways. And so that's, I think, always stuck with me, that with any role that I chose, and it doesn't mean that every character is going to be a hero. It doesn't mean that every character is going to be a stereotype of perfection. And because I think that's something that's also a hard, a hard thing to carry as a Black person. Like, oh, every role's got to be a perfect, super tidied up person. No, but every character you should walk away from feeling like you gained something more than you lost. And I think I'm just very specific on making sure that, how did I feel after this? Do I feel better or do I feel worse? Do I feel like I learned something or do I feel this, And so I appreciate you saying that, because I am definitely thoughtful about the roles that I take, especially after I did Akilah and the Bee, because I know, my mom always told me how much that, and I saw over time how much that role meant to people. And so I don't want to also mess up that legacy of what that is. I want people to also always see that whatever's that attached from that is, we're kind of continuing on the same wavelength. We're continuing that same thing.